introduce yourselves to the camera.
I'm Sophia.
Jennifer.
Daniel.
Randolph.
Okay, thank you all for coming, and today I'll be informing you about the psychological effects of isolation. This past month, 7 billion people, including you guys, have been forced to stay home in isolation due to the worldwide pandemic COVID-19. And I know this is new and scary, but it's our temporary lifestyle that we all have to go through until who knows how long. And in isolation, though it is protecting our physical health, it is taking a major toll on our mental health. Our mental health is something that dictates our everyday lives. And regardless of age or gender, isolation can have numerous psychological effects on us. I've taken a psychology class, so I have personal background knowledge as to how isolation can affect us as human creatures, and that's why today I'll be informing you guys about the psychological effects of isolation, which is an increase in negative emotion, increase in avoidant behaviors, and negative effects on our immune system. To start off, isolation causes an increase in our negative emotions. Rachel Ward is a psychiatrist who did a study on patients who are being isolated because of infectious diseases, and in her statistics, it shows that the most 3 common negative emotions were loneliness, boredom, and confinement. Now, as we're being home, confined in one place, our daily routine is stripped from us. We don't go to work, we don't go to school, and that increases our emotion of boredom. And for some of us, we can't be with our family, which increases our emotions of loneliness. And as she states in her article, isolation imposes restrictions on freedom of movement and restriction of communication, which goes along with all these emotions. Now, along with emotions, anxiety is also an increased factor that a lot of us are experiencing. And as the APA states, anxiety is an emotion that is characterized by feelings of tension, worried thoughts, and increased physical changes such as increased blood pressure. And with the world in a state of panic due to uncertainty, everyone is experiencing some level of anxiety. Now, moving from emotions to behaviors, isolation increases what is called avoidant behaviors. Now, stated in an article, a research article called Impact of COVID-19, it is stated in their conclusion after doing studies, faced with disease threats, people tend to develop avoidant behaviors and obey social norms more strictly. Now, this aligns with the BIS theory, which is basically our behavioral immune system, which states how we have a system of psychological mechanisms that are evolved to promote disease prevention, and that aligns with the avoidant behaviors we develop. When we feel threatened socially, which is this isolation we're experiencing, we develop avoidant behaviors to prevent ourselves from this disease. And with this, we become more confined to ourselves and stay close with our families, which also increases security with our family. Now, moving from emotions and behaviors, let's talk about the immune system. To start off, I'm going to share with you the social safety theory. This theory states, by George M. Slavic, that the developing and maintaining friendly social relationships is a fundamental organizing principle of our human health. And when that social effect is threatened, a psychological stressor is set off and creates room for diseases. So basically what this is saying is when that social safety factor is threatened, which like I said earlier is isolation, it increases pro-inflammatory activity in our immune system, opening gateways for numerous diseases, which is why it's crucial that we find ways to reduce our stress in order to decrease this pro-inflammatory activity, such as promote physical distancing, but not social distancing. Physical distancing, of course, is crucial. We have to stay away from everybody to keep ourselves and ones around us safe, but we can still stay socially connected through forms of technology and other media with friends and family in order to keep that sense of self-belonging and not feel so lonely and all the uncertainty going on. So in conclusion, isolation can cause psychological effects. Being in isolation increases feelings of boredom, loneliness, and anxiety, and this causes our avoidant behaviors to increase, and it also causes pro-inflammatory activity levels to increase in our immune system. With this, 7 billion people are being affected right now, and that's why it's important to be informed of how isolation can affect us psychologically, and why it's important to realize how we can prevent that to prevent from long-term negative mental health issues. Thank you.
Wow.